What's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? We are here. I know that everybody else is live doing their thing, but thank you for those of you that are here or those of you that are pulling double duty. Do not forget that tomorrow night, the Whether You Like It or Not panel will be in effect over on Giving You the Real Tease channel, where all of us will converge and give our opinions. And y'all might be surprised. Thank you, Monique. Thank you. Says keep up with the good work. Love you. Love you too. Thank you. Don't you do it. I ain't gonna, Cajun, don't you come in here with that mess. Don't come in here with that mess, Cajun. Do not give me any Big Brother spoilers, please. And thank you, you guys. As you know, I'm not watching it yet. And why is my camera blurry? But let's get it up. Let's get it up. Let's get into this. So we pick up where we left off last week. We are still at Kern's hat party. Mia is still in the bathroom crying. She's upset. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I understand why Mia is upset. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I think Mia and G are messy. And I think both of them have not put their kids first in this situation. G, if you knew that Mia been cheating on you for the last 10 years to the point where you knew about Ink 10 years ago and you even questioned the paternity of your child, then at this point, like, you knew what Wendy, Lord, somebody said Wendy in the chat, but you knew what Mia was, and you knew what Mia was giving, and you knew Ink been around for a long time. For you to go to the blogs in anger and put all y'all business out there, I feel like neither one of y'all were protecting the kids. And I'm sorry, Jazelle and Karen, I do feel like y'all's critique was a little rough. That's how I feel. Now, I know that Mia is not necessarily a likable person. She's a liar, gold digger, all of the above. But I don't think it's fair to put all of that on Mia, that she did not protect her kids, because if Mia been having an affair with this man for the last 10 years, why would she expect G to go flip out now? Like this what y'all been doing. Again, I think the only thing that changed in Mia and G's marriage was that G didn't have the money anymore. And I think G knew that Mia was like, G, you knew she was with you for the money all along, bro. I think reality hit him in the face when it was so obvious, when Mia switched up so fast and so quick. Karen didn't want to talk about her own situation. She sure dug into Mia. Well, again, y'all know I love Karen, but I got to call a thing a thing. Karen did exactly what Jazelle said Karen did. She pivoted to change the conversation. So that, Mia said that, I'm sorry, because she didn't want to talk about her situation. And I think that's exactly what she did. I believe that's exactly what she did. And honestly, Mia, you just happen to be the one to catch it, because I feel like anybody could have got it. Okay? Now, the rest of the party, so they kept the party going while Mia was in the bathroom, whatever. So she gave Wendy a bucket hat because she said, our relationship has been in the bucket. I do want to talk to you. Now, I'm going to be honest with you and tell you, is it me? Or did Jazelle seem like she was giving Wendy a directive more than an invitation? Like, she was like, I want to talk to you tomorrow. Yeah, I want to fix our, we need to talk about our friendship. Our relationship. So I want to talk to you tomorrow. And then when Wendy kind of was like, okay, she was like, no, for real, tomorrow. See you there. Now, let's just pull the curtain back for a minute. Let's pull the curtain back for a minute. We all know that they had to get this together. We all know that they were told, y'all better get it. Y'all better fix it, because we're not going to have another season like the season we just had. So y'all better fix it. Y'all better get to a point where y'all can at least be in the same room, or it could just be some light shade. But all of this, I'm not filming with you and I'm not filming with you. We're not doing that this year. And I know a lot of people, honestly, I honestly don't think this happens if Robin is still there. I just don't. Now, do I think Jazelle is going to stop being Jazelle? No, Jazelle was shady at that party with Karen. The hat party was shady. But I do think there's a layer gone now that she doesn't have her partner in crime. right? I do. And I do not think if Robin had been there that Jazelle would be in such a rush to try and clear the air with people and make nice with people and be cool with people. Now, is Jazelle still going to bring it? Jazelle knows what the fuck to do. And Jazelle is absolutely going to bring it. But I do think that that Robin that Jazelle is a little more open to it. Sweet Pea, you here? Sweet Pea, look up that restaurant they went to. What's it called? All Aboard. Where's All Aboard? Find out. That we might need to add that to the list because that looked like a nice little seafood spot. Now that looked like they might have been in like Bethesda or Upper Northwest because I saw they walked down into the restaurant. And tell me where it looked like. She just needs allies to not look like, oh Lord. Jizzy looking for a friend since exactly. So, y'all, can I ask a question that is not appropriate? Cajun, close your ears. This is for the ladies. Did Wendy have another boob job? I mean, I know we can do wonders with tape and bras and all of that, but I swear Wendy's boobs look bigger. Did she get them boobs done again? You know, they say that plastic surgery is addictive, child. You start getting one thing done, and then, because we know people who've had 2 or 3 nose jobs and 2 or 3 boob jobs and 2 or 3 BBLs, and liposuction 2 or 3 times. Did she get them things done again? Well, but even in her confessional, they not as, but okay, maybe it was me, but yeah, definitely when they went to lunch, that was a whole lot going on, Wendy. Now again, maybe it was the bra, maybe it was tape, I don't know, but that was a whole lot going on. Anyway, Jazelle and Wendy had this conversation, and I'm going to be very honest and tell you it was, and I get it. I know that we got bits and pieces of a longer conversation, but generally they pull out the important bits and pieces or the most interesting bits and pieces. So based on what they showed us, this was a very surface conversation that I do not think resolved anything. It just really didn't. Karen said, I mean, Jazelle was like, I feel like, you can go cutthroat when you are coming for people. And Wendy was like, I received that. However, you can't tell me how to respond when I feel like somebody came for me first. I 100% agree with Wendy on that. Like, y'all attacked that woman's marriage. Let's go back to the beginning. They showed us the clip of when they attacked Wendy's marriage. Y'all attacked that woman's marriage. And when y'all attacked that woman's marriage, she threw in your face that fake relationship that you tried to pretend like you and your ex-husband was involved in. She threw out the fact that your ex-husband cheated on you and made you the laughingstock of Baltimore. I don't feel like Wendy's response was wrong. And she said, well, I feel like when you come for us, when you get mad, you can be very condescending. Wendy can be very condescending. Going back to when she got into that first argument with Ashley, and she told Ashley call her doctor. Let me tell y'all something. Again, when you are in an argument, you use what you have. If I know I'm the smartest person at the table, I'm gonna let you know I know I'm the smartest person at the table. Jazelle, you are vicious, and she met your vicious. That's how I feel about it. I feel like she met your level of vicious. But neither here nor there. We all know what the mission was. We all know that Wendy and Jazelle got pulled into a room and was told, y'all need to make up. Y'all need to make it look good. And even if y'all don't like each other, y'all are going to work through it. Y'all are going to film and you're going to fucking like it if you want to keep your job. I just really feel like that was the conversation. But they agreed to move forward. Now, here's what I do like that they didn't do. They didn't pretend like everything was good. They didn't pretend like they have resolved all of their issues. They didn't pretend like, oh, okay, girl. Well, next week let's go have drinks, and next week let's go on a vacation together, and oh, we could double date. I can bring my new imaginary boyfriend, and you can bring Happy Eddie, and like I can appreciate that they did not sit there and pretend like everything was all good. So I can respect that. I wonder if they'll pull the sorority sister card. I think they did behind the scenes. I'm gonna be honest with you. I 100% believe there was a phone call behind the scenes where they were like, hey soror, what we gonna do? We're gonna have to listen. We're gonna have to. I do believe that. I 100% believe there was a behind the scenes, especially after Robin got fired. I absolutely believe there was a conversation. Now I'm gonna tell you what I believe. But I do appreciate, like I said, that they didn't play in our face and act like, oh, we're just best friends now, because child, they not. Okay. So we get to know a little bit more about Stacy. Stacy lives, I found it funny that they were like, Stacy lives in Washington, D.C. suburbs, and then she has a crash pad in downtown D.C. First of all, what suburbs? Like, does she live in the outskirts of Washington, D.C., or does she live somewhere in D.C. that doesn't look as city as D.C. does? Because there are parts of D.C. that look very suburb, right? My parents' neighborhood, if you didn't know you were still inside of Washington, D.C., you might not think you were in Washington, D.C. It's very, very suburban looking. Then they said she has a crash pad in the downtown D.C. area. That house didn't look, I don't know. Okay, Allstate is in Silver Spring. Okay, I figured the Bethesda. Okay, I said Bethesda. That's a little bit further up, but I figured it was in that area. Okay, Silver Spring. I might have to check that out because I know I'm always looking for a good seafood restaurant. And when people come in town, child, they always invite me to a good seafood restaurant. They always want to know where's a good seafood restaurant, so I'm gonna have to try it so I know whether to send people there. Why does this zip code for Potomac thing matter? They annoy me with this. So here is the thing. It's funny to me because the only Housewives show where I have seen anybody make such a big deal about where people live is Potomac. I don't see the New York girls making a big deal about what part of New York. I mean, whether you're in New York or not. I don't see the Beverly Hills girls, because I don't think any of them live in Beverly Hills proper. I think most of them live outside of Beverly Hills. I don't know if any of them live inside of Beverly Hills proper. The Dallas, when they had Miami, in Miami, Atlanta, I don't think none of them lived in Atlanta. And I don't think it was ever made a big deal like Potomac is. But let me tell y'all something. And this is something I keep telling y'all about DC. Y'all don't want to believe me because y'all want to say, well, all cities are like this, and all cities have this, and all cities have that. Y'all don't like hearing me when I be telling y'all this. But baby, when I tell you there's a level of bougie here in DC, and it is all about where you live and where you don't live. I know that is a thing, but I'm telling you, y'all, I can't stress that to y'all enough that saying you live in Potomac, it's a flex. So it doesn't matter that Jazelle lives in Bethesda. And I know as much as we drag Jazelle's house, Jazelle lives in $1 million neighborhood, right? It doesn't matter that Sharice was living in $1 million neighborhood. It doesn't matter that who else lived outside of Potomac? Damn. Now I can't think. Wendy Wendy lives in $1 million house on the other side of Baltimore. Like, it's just a level of bougie. And it doesn't matter that your neighborhood, it's not the price tag of the neighborhood. It's being able to say you live. That's like people say I live in Buckhead, right? You could live in an apartment in Buckhead. You could have 2 roommates in Buckhead. But to say you live in Buckhead, that it's a flex on that. And so that's kind of what it is. Really be, I use the code to get my re-up of collagen and CMOS capsule. Thank you so much. I haven't, you know what? I ain't been telling people to get their Black Girl vitamins. I've been forgetting the last couple of times. Thank you so much. And I thank you for supporting me. I have an order on the way. Y'all know they delivered my order to the wrong place. So I'm waiting for them to send me a replacement order. That's why I haven't done an unboxing. Because, child, I'm almost out, honey. I am out of my iron pills, but I'm almost out of my my B13 or B3. What was it? The energy ones, child. If they don't actually live in Potomac, then why do they argue about living in Potomac? I don't get it. The zip code is the zip code. Nobody argued. The only person that makes a bill, the only person that talks about living in Potomac is Karen. That's because she's the only one that lives in Potomac. You see what I'm saying? The only person that talks about living in Potomac is the person who actually lives in Potomac because it's a flex. She's the only person that's talking about. And then when they finally was somebody else that lived in Potomac, what did Karen do last season? Oh, well, you live in New Potomac. You don't live in Old Potomac. That's like Bowie. This is another suburb here in DC. Bowie is an affluent area as well. And if you say you live in Bowie, people will say, do you live in Old Bowie? Because they want to know, are you one of the new people? You just moved into Bowie? Or are you like been in Bowie? Because again, old versus new dictates how long you've been there, which again is a flex. You see what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm saying? Atlanta girls don't what? Talk about Buckhead? Child, they done redid Bowie's on it so many times. Right. It's just, but you know what? Sweet Pea, they've redone Upper Marlboro zoning. They've redone, because let me tell you something. Where Upper Marlboro starts and okay, y'all get me off on DC. But where Upper Marlboro starts and where Upper Marlboro ends, child, it's a whole situation. But anyway, they love Sandy Springs, Duluth. I'm in Buckhead area, but nobody cares like Potomac. Right. Because again, I keep telling y'all how bougie DC is. Again, I know people like to act like it's just a city like any other city. It may be. But I'm telling you what I know for where I live, for my city. And I love my city to death. But baby, let me tell you something. And let's be clear. Potomac really, when you want to talk about neighborhoods in DC, or in the suburbs, out because Potomac's not in DC. But when you want to talk about affluent neighborhoods and houses and all of that, the neighborhood that Karen used to live in was actually a more affluent neighborhood than Potomac. Remember when Karen was renting that house in Great Falls? That's actually a more affluent neighborhood. In my opinion, Sweet Pea, my DC people, would y'all agree with me? That Great Falls, where Karen used to live, when she was renting that, well, she's still renting, but when she rented that first house after she sold her house, that's where all the Redskins players and stuff live. Well, it's Redskins players that live in Potomac too. I'm sorry, Washington Commanders. Anyway. Yeah, so again, it's anyway, moving right along, child. I ain't trying to get caught up in Potomac. But we're going to come back to Miss Stacy in a minute. Moving right along. After that, we saw, we finally got to meet Kiki. Now, last week on the Whether You Like It or Not panel, we were asking questions about why Kiki wasn't at Kern's birthday party. Well, now we found out. Child, Jazelle ain't invite her. Now, here's what I found was petty. Jazelle was like, well, I only had a certain number of seats and I couldn't invite her because we didn't have enough space. But you had all them scragglers there. You had friends of the show there. You had people that are not even a part of the cast there. How you ain't have time? How you ain't have room for Kiki? You know who Kiki is. Kiki was on the show last season. Even though she was a friend of, She was on the show last season. So I don't understand how you have room for Vivian and whoever that other Jazzy and whoever this what Stacy. You have room for all of them. We don't even know them. But you ain't have room for Kiki. Come on now, Jazelle. Stop playing with me. And you know, like I know, they could have slid one more chair up in there. Y'all don't be half eating no way. They could have slid one more chair, but they're right. We don't Jacqueline. Girl, they could have slid another because Mia bought a whole +1. So if Mia get to bring a +1, how you can't get Kiki? So that was bullshit. I call bullshit. I call bullshit on that you couldn't get a seat. You just didn't want to invite her. Because you still feel like she ruined your event. So that's how we feel about that. But we see that her and Karen are very close, so they got to talking. And Karen let it be known that she is not. Oh no, that's when she talks to Jazelle. Okay. Let me go ahead and get Jazelle and Karen out the way because I know I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on this conversation with Ashley and Stacy. So let me go ahead and get Karen and Jazelle out the way. So Karen wanted to go visit Jazelle. First of all, Jazelle, you doing too much. We get it. Karen has a DUI. Karen doesn't need to be driving. We got it. Girl, why you had to ask that one how she got to your house? You know how the fuck she got to your house. You know you don't see her outside. You know you don't see a car outside because her car got totaled. You know you don't see no new car. You don't see no car with no paper outside. So you know how Karen got to your house. Either production got her a Sprinter or an Uber Black, or she took her own Uber Black. Stop doing that. Like, we get it. Karen got a DUI. We got it. You don't have to, every time you see that woman, have to bring it up and remind her and be like, so, I mean, how did you get here today? Bitch, what? Don't be asking me how I got here. Then Karen let it be known. They had the whole Kiki conversation. And then Karen let it be known that she not feeling Jacqueline because she feel like Jacqueline made some comments about with her case about something we're gonna wait and see. And Karen was like, I need people that's gonna ride for me. I need people that's gonna be to have my back like 4 flats. Okay. I need y'all to ride for me. If this is what we're gonna do, then this is what we're gonna do. Okay. So what I don't need is for somebody to be questioning me. Now I'm gonna say this. This how I'm with my friends. I'm gonna publicly have your back and I'm gonna privately correct you. And I feel like maybe when Jacqueline said that, she felt like they were among friends. So she was saying it in a friend setting. But you really were, Jacqueline, because one, you knew they was filming it. So call a thing a thing. But two, you say that to Karen one-on-one. I'm with Karen on that. Listen, at the end of the day, we know what it is, okay? Girl, you was out there drinking and driving. Yes, you could have killed somebody. You could have seriously done some serious damage. You could have killed your damn self. It looks like you got a whole lot of other violations. Now, Karen, I don't know why you riding around here driving without license, driving without registration. Who the hell don't have that car registered? Now, Karen, you got a lot of questions to answer because I don't understand why you was riding dirty like that. Now, the only thing I can think of why you was riding dirty like that is because maybe the state of Virginia, Maryland, wherever, wanted you to do some things to get your license that you didn't want to do because you did have that prior DUI. Maybe you had too many tickets. I don't know why you were riding dirty like that, but you was riding dirty on some dumb shit. Like, I know poor people ride around without registration because they maybe when the registration came due, they had a money and they let it expire. And then once you got expired, you got to pay fines. And it's a whole process. If you let your let your registration expire on your car, that you got to come up with money. Or if you owe tickets, I know, like, if you owe tickets, you got to pay them tickets. And if you don't have the money, I get it for people who don't have it. But Karen, you got it. Why your registration expire, ma'am, on your car? Confusion. That's how plenty of people do it, but why? I don't understand why. And I ain't perfect. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but that to me is a dumb thing. Why are you riding dirty on something stupid like literally all you have to do is go online, pay the money, and they mail it to you. It is not that complicated. I know in DC, I don't know about no other state, but in DC, literally, you just go online and you pay for them and they mail them. And if you waited to the last minute, you can print a temporary one out and put it in your windshield of your car until your permanent one comes. I have literally paid for my tags the night before they were due. And I just had to print the shit out and put it in my window till they mail me my tags. I just don't understand. Well, I understand. Like I said, if you have tickets, I get it because I've been there. Listen, one year, I ain't gonna tell y'all the truth. One year I had tickets and I had to set up a payment arrangement because them DC tickets don't be playing. And I must have had something like $300-400 in tickets here in DC, maybe more than that. But they will set up a payment arrangement with you and they'll let you get your tags. You can set up a payment arrangement and you got to, I had to set up a payment arrangement that time because my tags was about to expire. And I didn't realize, I was like, shit, I didn't realize I had that many tickets. I didn't know I had that many tickets. Right, it's the late fees because the ticket already be $100, and then when the ticket double, that's $200. Shit. But I had to make a payment arrangement. Like I ain't saying, listen, y'all. What I'm saying is some problems that regular people have, Karen shouldn't have. So that's my point. My point is you should have the money. So you letting your tags expire is stupid to me. Unless it's more to the story. But neither here nor there, child. That was pretty much. And then we found out there's another GNA event. They did invite Kiki to the GNA event, but I'm going to tell you the truth. If I was Kiki, I don't never need to go to another GNA event. First of all, why would I put myself through that? Second of all, who cares about GNA? So I don't need to go to no GNA event. I'm with Kiki on that one. Now let's talk about this walk that Ashley and Stacy took. I can already see the blogs tomorrow. I'm sure Twitter is on fire right now. I'm not a big Twitter person, but if I were a big Twitter person, I am sure Twitter is on fire right now. That conversation, both parts of that conversation was crazy as fuck to me. So let's start with the first part and then we'll deal with the second part. The first part of the conversation, Stacy is talking to Ashley about her divorce. First of all, Ashley, you are not qualified to question, judge, or talk about anybody's divorce process and who's doing what. So Stacy tells her that her and her husband are still living in the same house. And Ashley has the nerve to be like, girl, what? Ma'am, coming from the lady with the never-ending divorce. Coming from the lady that if her husband had not given her the money to buy her house, she would still be living in his house right now too. Like, let's stop. Like, you were in no rush to move out of Michael's penthouse. I didn't see you moving back in with Uncle Lump. I didn't see you asking your mama if you could bunk at the house that Michael paid for. So you wasn't in no rush to get the hell out of Michael's house either. And but for the fact that Michael paid for that damn house that you living in now, your ass would still be living with Michael. So number one, I'm going to need you to keep that bass out your voice, okay? Number two, the woman tells you that she's dating a new man. Now, Stacy, I don't understand why you felt the need to tell her that you and that man were not having sex. That is just not how normal people talk, especially normal people that are just getting to know each other. I have absolutely no desire to have a conversation with any friend of mine about my sex life with a man I'm dating. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, as girlfriends, we do talk, we gossip, we do all of those things. But I could see me just meeting somebody for the first time. Maryland doesn't charge late fees on car register. So I don't even understand why Karen car wasn't registered. Thank you, correct. So I do not understand why Stacy felt the need to tell Ashley, don't judge me, but we're not intimate. First of all, y'all are grown-ass women. If y'all don't want to be intimate, y'all don't fucking have to be intimate. Like, where's that rule written that just because you're adults in a relationship that y'all have to be having sex? She said he's a devout Christian. First of all, why we got to make it a Christian thing? Why we can't just make it a we want to get to know each other kind of thing? Because we grown and we don't have to fall into bed just because we like each other. That is not what it's about. So you telling that woman your business about who you having sex with, first of all, I didn't understand. That was a little crazy to me. Second of all, Ashley, you're a hoe. Your response came off as a hoe. And I'm sorry. I know that I shouldn't call that woman out her name like that. But that is how your response, you really were like, girl, what? Like, she really cringed up her face and was like, what you mean y'all not having sex? Well, how long has it been? She said, well, it's been a couple of months. She was like, oh, okay. I thought you was going to say like a year or something. And Stacy was like, but if I had said a year, would that be a problem? Girl, you the one that's telling her all your business. Clearly, you think it's a problem because you prefaced it by saying, well, you know, he's a devout Christian. Like, you clearly think it's a problem because of the way you addressed it. I would be like, yes, I have a new man we're dating. Now, if Ashley had asked me, I still would feel like it ain't her business. But I would have been like, well, no, we haven't quite gotten to that part yet. We're still getting to know each other. And that would have been the end of the damn conversation. I don't understand why you stop, Cajun. Stop. Seriously, stop with the big brother. Seriously, stop. It's just a whole situation where I'm just like, I do not. So you got me all off. Seriously, stop talking about Big Brother. I'm so serious. Really. I don't like spoilers. I don't like pretend spoilers. I don't like none of that. Just don't talk no more about Big Brother, please. So I was just like, I didn't understand why that whole conversation had to take place. And I felt like Ashley's judgment was disrespectful as fuck. And I would have been offended and I would have been pissed off if I'm telling you and your response, like, there's something wrong with the way I'm conducting my relationship. That's number one. Then the second half of this conversation, let me preface by saying I am not biracial. And I do not know what it's like to be biracial or raise a biracial child. I have biracial kids in my family, but I'm not going to pretend like that makes me, that's equivalent. It's not. But can I tell you that conversation was so disheartening for me. I understand why they had the conversation about the biracial. I understand that. That's not even my issue. But the conversation for me was very disheartening because I don't understand what the fuck they were talking about. First of all, let me start with Ashley. Ashley said that her boys, basically because of the way they look, I'm paraphrasing y'all, so if I'm paraphrasing wrong, y'all can correct me, can't identify with being black because they don't look black enough and they're not around a lot of black people. Ashley said basically outside of her family, they're not really around a lot of black people. And what I say to that is that should be enough. I get it. They probably go to a predominantly white school. You probably live in a predominantly white neighborhood. But your boys, number one, it doesn't matter what they look like. It matters what they are. Being around your mom and Uncle Lump and whoever else on your side of the family should be enough. I get it that they're still young. So I'm not saying, you got to sit them down and show them roots. That ain't what I'm saying. But it should be enough. She said, well, I read them books. It was just disheartening. And then Stacy basically says the same thing about, well, my family is in Detroit, so the fuck what? She says, well, I don't know what it's like to be married to an Australian, but my husband he's German and they're very proud. And they're proud to speak German and they're proud to do this and they're proud to do that. And in my mind, I'm thinking, as should they feel about being Black. Like the same way you're telling me that your German husband shows his pride and his love of country is the same way you should be giving your kids that pride. Does that make sense? So it was crazy to me to hear her say it like, and are you guys being intentional in what you expose your children to? Like, I get it. If you live in a predominantly white neighborhood and your kids go to a predominantly white school, are you finding a play group that's Black? Are you looking for groups and organizations that are going to expose them to these things? Like, they exist. They're here. You can go down to the public library and find when different groups meet and different organizations meet. You could go down to the National History of African American, the Black Smithsonian, we call it the Black Smithsonian. They have groups all the time. They have things all the time. You can find them a step team that they can get involved in. You can find them a drum circle if you want to expose them to African music and African culture. You can find, like, there are a lot of things you can do for them here in this area. It's just crazy to me. Jack and Jill is that's what Karen and Jazelle, and Cherise, all of them are Jack and Jill. All of them are Jack and Jill. So it's like, there's no way that, like, that's why I'm listening to this conversation, and it really pissed me off. But I was just like, this is so ridiculous. Ain't no Black private schools up there. Y'all got to do something now. Yeah, there are plenty of. I won't say any Black private schools. Like, I don't know if there's a Black private school that's like, but there are a lot of private schools that are that have a predominantly Black population. Yeah. Exactly, Cajun, and that's what it boils down to for me. They want their kids to assimilate with white culture. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like this is what they want. And I don't know why they felt the need to have this conversation, because I didn't get the impression that they really, truly were concerned. Because again, as intentional as y'all are with everything else, you can be intentional in finding a space where your child, even if it's just once a week, is exposed. Even if it's just once a week. But anyway, yes, they have Jack and Jill up here. There are a lot of options. I'm sorry. There are a lot of options. There are a lot. And again, I cannot speak to how to raise a biracial child, but I can speak to if you want them to experience the culture, there are things that you can do to help them experience the culture. And again, Ashley, you don't live that far out. Like, girl, stop. You don't live that far out. Like Ashley, I think Ashley lives right in Alexandria. I think, girl, Alexandria is right there. Like, a lot of black people in Alexandria. Or I think she lives right on Virginia, I think. I think that's where Ashley lives. But anyway, I just wonder if Twitter feel the way I felt. But anyway, so then we found out that Karen, now this is where y'all are gonna probably be very shocked at me. But Karen is getting an award. Now, Jazelle said that she got invited to this same award ceremony months ago, and Karen's name wasn't on that list. So she don't know when, where, how Karen is getting this award. Now, I will say this. Things like that happen all the time. You have these organizations where they add people to the list. They add awards. And yes, sometimes people don't want to accept the award or can't accept the award. And so sometimes they do go with a different option. And let's just call a thing a thing. We know that people buy awards all the time. So is this a legitimate? I mean, I don't know this organization, so I'm not taking nothing away from the organization. So for Jazelle to be like, girl, I was invited to this event months ago and Karen's name wasn't on the list. How she get added to the list? I thought that was a little shady. See, this is what I'm saying. Jazelle's still shady as fuck. I thought that was shady. I thought that was a little disrespectful for you to bring that up. Okay. And Karen says, well, I have to go to my other event, but I'm going to definitely make it. I'm going to do what I can to make it. And then for the day before Jazelle's event, for Karen to send that message to the group talking about, yeah, there are 2 events on the same day. And the organization that I'm getting an award from has graciously offered to provide transportation so you guys can make it to both events. I thought that was fucked up. I thought it was really, really, really fucked up. I thought it was very selfish of Karen because let's be clear, over the years, Karen has gotten about 20 awards. Let's just call a thing a thing. And the women have always been very supportive of Karen. Hell, they drove all the way down to damn Virginia for Karen to get a key to the city or whatever the fuck it was that happened when they went down to Surrey that year. Like, Karen, they have been very supportive of you. And I don't think it would have been a problem. And I don't think it would have hurt for you to be like, look, we need to support Jazelle. They're pivoting their organization because of what Jazelle went through with her dad. The Brain Association, the National Brain Tumor Association is going to be there. They're doing some really charitable work. They really want to try to pivot and do some really big things with this organization. I want you guys to go there, and I'm going to do my best to make it. But I really want I want y'all to go support Jazelle. The only person I'm giving a pass to is Kiki. Because again, girl, if you don't want to go to no GNA event, I understand. Kiki, the only one I'm giving a pass to. And I do feel like that was real messed up on Karen's part. And I felt like it was very selfish of her. I do. I think that was very selfish of her. Y'all had a small window. And Wendy ain't lying about DC traffic that time of day. Because you talking about between 6:30 and 9:30. That is rush hour. Because this clearly was during the week. Because if it was a Saturday or Sunday, it wouldn't have been that big of a problem. This is clearly a Monday through Friday situation. Because Saturday night wouldn't have been as big of a deal. And Sunday definitely wouldn't have been a problem with traffic. But this must have been a weekday. I don't know where these 2 events were, but that was ridiculous. You know it's sad they won't honor regular people, but being that Jazelle is on TV, she gets an award. You talking about Karen or Jazelle? Come on, really be. So Karen was supposed to forfeit attention for her charity. It's not Karen's charity. What are you talking about? This isn't Karen's charity. Karen was getting an award for doing charity. This wasn't her charity. This was Jazelle's charity. Here's the thing. The cameras would have still shown up. I thought, and listen, y'all can feel how y'all feel, and that's fine. I thought that was fucked up. And if it had been me, I would have been hurt. If that had been me, if I had been Jazelle, I would have been hurt. I would have been hurt. And again, when we talk about the show, Karen has gotten way more exposure and attention for her charitable events. She has gotten it over the years. She's gotten it for domestic violence. We've had multiple domestic violence events with Karen's charity. Like I said, when they went down to Surrey County, we got multiple opportunities to go down to Surrey and hear about what Karen is doing down in Surrey. I think I'm sorry, I'm with Jazelle on this one, and y'all know that hurts me to say that. Especially against Karen. Y'all know how much I love the Grand Dame. But I think, and again, I'm not asking Karen to not go to her event. I'm not even saying if the ladies chose to go to Karen's event. But I think what Karen did was really fucked up. For Karen to be like, hey, I'm going to provide transportation for you guys to come to my event first. And then you guys can go over to Jazelle's event. I thought that was very manipulative, and I thought that was fucked up. Now, again, if Wendy had said, girl, I'm riding with you, Karen, I'm not going to Jazelle's event. You know, me and her, we just getting cool again. I'm going with y'all. That would be something different. But for you to be like, I'm picking up a van to pick up all the ladies, and y'all are going to come to my event first, and then they're going to take y'all to Jazelle's event. I'm sorry. I thought that was right. And do it the day before. The day before? I thought that was fucked up. Karen was selfish. Yeah, I thought that was selfish. I was confused. They called it Jazelle's event when football head actually is her partner with GNA. Well, because of the brain tumor connection, they made it more connected. They made it more of a connection to Jazelle, I think, because of that, right? I think because the event was catered to Jazelle's dad. Yeah, right. That's why I think that. It's not, Dollface, for me, it's not about what I think Jazelle would have done. I don't care what Jazelle would have done. I'm talking about, I think that what Karen did was wrong. To me, it's not about, well, do you think Jazelle would have done it? I don't know. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. As petty as I think Jazelle can be, I don't know. I'm going to just leave it at that. I don't know. But again, that doesn't change how I feel about what Karen did. And again, y'all know I love Karen. I love Karen down. But I thought that was wrong. So Jazelle was, and I think Jazelle was just as much hurt by Karen as she was by the situation. Because I do think the ladies, because then what that does is that put the ladies in a really awkward position. And the ladies sort of felt obligated to get on the transportation that Karen provided. They sort of felt obligated to do it. Now, Kiki, like I said, Kiki was like, yeah, I'm not going. I'm good. I'm staying right here with Karen. And Wendy said the same thing. Wendy was like, I'm staying here. But again, I understand why Wendy and Kiki both said that. Because Kiki, like I said, girl, she got assaulted at a GNA event. I get it. And Wendy, her and Karen are closer than her and Jazelle. Her and Jazelle just got to a point where they could be in a room together and not want to fight. Okay. So I understood that. So the ladies definitely tried to make it work. But by the time they got to Jazelle and Ashley's event, it was literally the last 30 minutes. It was literally the last 30 minutes. And baby Jazelle told them, y'all can just turn around and going back out that door. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I could see myself doing that. I ain't going to tell y'all no lies. I could absolutely see myself doing that. I ain't saying Jazelle was right or wrong for doing it. I'm just saying I understand it. Because I could absolutely see myself being like, oh no, we good. This thing ending. We wrapping it up. We wrapping this thing up. Right. Karen's parents passed away 7 years ago. Jazelle was doing an event for her dad. Right. And he had only, I think she said in the speech, it had only been 10 months, I think she said. 7 to 10 months. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay. You said YB they were going to both. This is in high school. If it was me, I would never attend another Jazelle event. Period. Me too. I understand why Kiki ain't go, child. Karen waited to the last minute to invite the ladies. I don't think Jazelle was being. Listen again. I don't think Jazelle was being mean. I really don't. I don't think Jazelle was being mean. And it's okay that we don't agree. We ain't got to agree on everything. It's okay. But and like I said, y'all know I'm not no big Jazelle person, but on this one, I 100%. And again, because it's connected to her father, her emotions are probably a little higher as well because it's connected to her father. So you said the ladies were going anyway. That's fine. That's fine. But I find it interesting that when Jazelle was inviting everybody to that event at Karen's birthday party, I didn't hear Karen say anything. When Jazelle was saying, the GNA event, da 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 da, and at the hat party when she was inviting everybody, I didn't hear Jazelle say. I mean, I didn't hear Karen say, "Well, I have an event that night," or "Ladies, that's the same night as my awards event, but we're gonna make it work." Or "Daggone it, you guys, we have 2 events on the same day, but we're gonna figure out a way to make it work." I don't remember that conversation happening. I don't remember them having that conversation. Had Karen said something like that, I would even probably give Karen a little bit of a leeway. Because I'd be like, well, Karen did say, and the ladies already knew about it. But it really sounds like this awards ceremony came out of nowhere. Because even Jazelle didn't know when they were at Giselle's house and Karen brought it up. Even Jazelle was like, oh, okay. Nobody knew about Karen getting this award until the last minute. Nobody knew about it. Mahogany, I'm so sorry for your loss. She said, I lost my dad 9 months ago, and I totally understand where Giselle's coming from. Coming so late would definitely hurt. They missed the whole speech. Yeah, I mean, they missed everything. They missed everything. So honestly, yeah, I mean, again, had Karen brought it up before that, I then would probably be like, well, maybe, but Karen didn't bring it up. Karen didn't say nothing about this damn award. We didn't know nothing about this award until she was at Giselle's house. And then the girls didn't know anything about this transportation situation until the day before. Like, come on. Nah, sorry. Sorry, Charlie. I can't go with you on this one, Grand Dame. But anyway, that's where the episode ends, you guys. Do not forget the whether you like it or not panel. I guess Giselle felt like I would have felt like an afterthought. I would have absolutely felt like an afterthought, you know. And again, for the people who don't fuck with Giselle, I ain't even mad at you. But anyway. Sorry, Miss B. Carter. Yeah. What Karen said at the end was rude too. I didn't. What did she say at the end? Because child, I didn't write down everything she said. What did she say at the end? Now Jazelle did get them. She did get security to come over there. Now I do think that was a bit much. Getting security, I do think was a bit much. Now that was a bit much, Jazelle. I think that was a bit much, but moving right along, like I said, y'all know I take things on a case by case basis. So if I'm saying case by case, now y'all know Jazelle gonna say something to piss me off next week, Jam. But anyway, tomorrow night on the Whether You Like It or Not panel, we'll be discussing it. I'm sure we'll get into it. I'm sure we'll disagree. So meet me at Terrence's house. Oh, she said people like her more. Yeah, that was rude. But meet me at Terrence's house at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, and we will get into the things of the things. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great evening, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Mwah. Peace.